As we told you earlier, for more than 5 years, Extension agents and 4-H families have been working to establish a 4-H and Conference Center at Lone Oaks Farm in Hardeman County. Not only would the huge farm provide a major place for 4-H summer camps, it would also be a boost to the economy of West Tennessee.
But now advocates of the center are concerned about whether the property will be approved in the state budget. Here to give us details is Obion County Senior UT Extension Agent Tim Smith. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now first, let's focus on some basics. How did the Lone Oaks Farm property become available for a possible 4-H center?
Well, just a brief history about how we all started. 4-H camps in Tennessee started back in '23 and eventually were built up to include 4 camps in Tennessee, one at Milan, one at Columbia, one at Crossville, and one at Greenville. And in 2009, the one in Milan was abruptly closed, and that serviced all of West Tennessee. And since then, we've seen about a 25 to 30% reduction in our camp numbers. And so for the past 5 years, we've been trying to remedy that. It was closed because of budgetary concerns, and that facility had just simply reached its end. So ever since then, we've been working hard to try to get a center back to West Tennessee. And over time, we had different committees met, and our vision began to start growing and expanding. We knew we had to make a facility that paid for itself, and 4-H camp alone cannot pay for itself just having 4, 5, 6 weeks in the summer. So we decided to broaden our vision and make a full-fledged conferencing center, and we got these ideas from looking at other facilities similar across the nation, especially the surrounding states in Tennessee. And when we saw what they were doing, we said we can do the same thing in Tennessee. And our vision just kept growing. And then from there, we started touring other sites, getting more data, coming up with a list of prioritized criteria we wanted to see in a property. And along with that, we had listening sessions across pretty much every community in West Tennessee, trying to locate these properties. And from there, we finally settled on 19 different sites. And then we narrowed that down to the top 3, and then from there we chose the Lone Oaks site because of its infrastructure. It met so many of the criteria we was looking for. It's a $30 million property that we're going to get for about half that, and it's really a showplace, something to be proud of.
All right, so let's talk about the benefits for 4-H. So you just hit on the location in Milan about it closing down. Tell us how much more will be available for 4-H members in Hardeman County.
The facility at Milan was pretty much just a 4-H camp. This facility is going to be a full-fledged conferencing center, which will also include places to host conferences overnight with lodging and top quality lodging at that. It will also be able to house our complete 4-H camp and offer those programs as well. But we're going to really focus on agriculture. In the listening sessions we conducted, we found out that ag literacy rates in Tennessee are extremely low, and we want this farm to be a demonstration farm and a true active working farm, both in crop production and as well as livestock. We'd like to see every single major crop grown in the state grown on this farm, and we also like to have all the livestock here as well. And with those two things coupled together, plus all the available conferencing opportunities, it's just going to be a site like none other.
Now, you told our county commission 3 weeks ago that you couldn't justify this property just for 4-H camps. How did the idea develop for a full-scale conference center?
When we visited the other sites around the country, we soon found out that was how they were paying for their summer camping program, was by having conferences and other opportunities. And so we got to investigating that more, and by having a variety of things and more open for everybody to use, both adults as youth as well, that allow us to have the state-of-the-art 4-H camp that nobody else has.
All right, well, Tim, just hang on to that, because when we come back, we'll look further at how the Lone Oaks property could be a prime location for conventions in West Tennessee.
We'll continue with Tim Smith right after these messages.
With the fast pace of today's busy world, it's always good when we find things that are convenient and save us time. Jackson Energy Authority can help with that. Choosing E+ broadband for your cable, internet, and telephone services means you can actually eliminate some of those bills in the mail each month. And talking with customer service is as easy as making a local call. One provider, one bill, and local customer service. It's simple. Call Jackson Energy Authority about E+ broadband services.
just told you about how a massive farm location in Hardeman County could change the face of 4-H programs in West Tennessee.
In this segment, we'll ask UT Extension Agent Tim Smith why financing for this facility could be in jeopardy. Now, over the weekend, an email went out that suggested that the funding for the Lone Oaks facility may be in jeopardy. What's going on at the state level concerning this?
In a consensus, this project was #1 on the University of Tennessee capital campaign list. It was on #2 on the Tennessee higher education list. We've had support from so many organizations like Farm Bureau and others, and even the legislators across the state are pretty much been 100% behind us. We do have a few that we've heard of that might be questioning the cost of the facility and are a little bit more on that detail. It's passed several of the subcommittee votes. We have one more major vote to go through before it goes to the House and Senate. So we just want to get the word out so that anybody that wants to support our cause can really express how needed this facility is.
All right, so you've raised more than $4 million for this facility, but the state has to commit to the rest. So for families who have children in 4-H in the Jackson area, what can they do?
Well, they just need to be supportive, call the legislators, and we're also going to need some of that money, as you talked about. The money that the state's committing is only and strictly for the acquisition of the property. We still got to come up with the rest to repurpose the buildings that are already there and to build the 4-H camp. So we're going to have to generate some major funds after we get this vote through the Senate and House.
Now, we're told that if you do not have commitment from state lawmakers, you will lose the option on Lone Oaks. How concerned are you that this could fall through?
I'm not concerned very much at all, but it is a possibility. Anytime you deal with the political process, there's always that chance. But we're extremely confident. We believe in our cause. We know it's a great cause, and we think it will succeed.
All right, so switching gears just a little bit, you would also have access to a commercial-sized kitchen. How would this serve to teach culinary skills to young people?
Well, with a commercial kitchen, and we could do, you know, if you've watched much cable TV, there's all kinds of cooking shows out, and there's even one for youth. We could have adult culinary classes and youth culinary classes in camps, week-long camps that teach that. We're not only going to stress agriculture, but we're going to stress so many other programmatic educational areas.
Now, if the funding is not approved by the state, how much of a blow would this be to 4-H in West Tennessee?
This is pretty much our one and only shot. As y'all said, we've been working on this for 5 years. We've been working hard on it, and we're at that critical juncture now. It's almost like it's all or none. This is our one shot to have the premier 4-H and conference center in all of the nation, and we very strongly feel that way.
All right, and so if you had one final shot to make the case before state lawmakers, what would you say?
I hope that everybody realizes how much of an opportunity this is for the whole state of Tennessee, and especially West Tennessee. This will be a conference center that promotes agriculture, higher education, and the University of Tennessee system. We're very confident, and we're thrilled about this opportunity.
Now, who would be able to use this facility? Youth from West Tennessee or from all over the state?
From anybody from all over the country, and also adult groups as well. This is going to be a conferencing, full-fledged conferencing center that houses our 4-H camp, so it's a broad range of people.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here, Tim.
Thank you.
Still to come, we may have seen the end of freezing temperatures, and that means it's time to get in the garden.
Celeste Scott has 2 big gardening events this week. She'll tell us about it right after these messages.